I was out of town recently, and when you're stuck in an elevator with my size, people feel they're entitled to know everything about you. So they like to look up at me, how tall are you? Do you play basketball? What is your astrological sign? What time of day were you born? So I know you're not lying. And so to keep it interesting, you start playing games with them. And because otherwise you'll go insane. So they come up and ask you, how tall are you? And you say, 6'11". How much do you weigh? So, the nerve on that guy. Double standards, right? Oh, I won't date anyone below 6 feet tall, but you can't ask how much I weigh. It's like, that's everyone, yeah. Anywho, so I know I'm going somewhere with this story. Oh, yes, anywho. No, I'm not going anywhere with the story. I just didn't have any coffee this early in the morning. So we're gonna go with it. Hey, there are amazing people here today. Some of you were here with us last year, and it's good to see you all again. But we have some new sponsors as well. We have KeyBank, and we have the Employers Council, Sam and Victoria Soval, Jeff and Katie Nelson, and David and Lori Perry. Welcome to the club, kids. Thanks for all you're doing. It's good to have you on board with us. So I want you all to know that while I am rambling, this does matter, what we're doing here. Through my travels around the world, some of you have heard the stories. I've had a lot of teammates that were fascinated with me, with the hearing loss, being the first deaf player in NBA history. And they're like, can't even believe you made it this far, because where we come from in Turkey or wherever, you would have been sidetracked at a very early age. You wouldn't have even been allowed to be mainstreamed in education and in the world around us. And so what we do here with the Columbus Community Foundation and the center and all the work is that we're giving people dignity through work, allowing them to be a part of their community and actually contributing members of their community. So this isn't just to me, some like little soiree with pinkies up where we get to talk about how awesome we are. This actually does matter. And so I am actually very grateful that you're here this morning, and thank you for your time. And I'm going to enjoy this presentation along with you, and I'll be visiting with you throughout. But let's get on with the show. First up, we're going to have the Columbus Board President of the Columbus Foundation, Rich Bott, and Christy Chambers, the Columbus CEO, come up and get the show started. Thanks, guys.
Not too often I get to start right behind a giant like that, and giant in many ways. But welcome. Good morning. What a spectacular fall morning in Utah, right? I want to welcome all of you to the 12th annual event of the Columbus Community Center Breakfast. What an amazing opportunity to get together and renew acquaintances and just celebrate what a fascinating and amazing program this is. I also, if I could take just a minute and have all the members of the board of Columbus Community Center stand at this time. What an outstanding board, and I'm proud to be a part of this amazing board very much. At this time, I want to thank and recognize Wayne Niederhauser, State Senator and President of the Utah State Senate, and also State Representative Brian King, and also Mayor of Salt Lake County, Ben McAdams. I want now to turn the time over to our amazing CEO, Christy Chambers.
Alrighty. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our 12th annual Dignity Through Work event. Thanks so much for getting up early this morning and joining us. And I don't know about you, but this world's been pretty topsy-turvy for me this year. I wake up in the morning and feel like all the rooms in my house have been rearranged a bit. And I'm wondering how we're all coping with the uncertainty in our world. For me, and at Columbus, we have a secret weapon, and that's our recommitment to kindness and to compassion. In the social services sector, when things go bad in the world, we double down on getting good. And in doing so, I had an opportunity to really look across our agency and see where this is transforming us on a real major level. And I wanted to share a couple of stories with you. We have a client in our setting who has been with us for 12 years, and she took the initiative to make sure that each and every one of our staff had a birthday card. And this was her way of really coping with the stress in our world today. And these cards are beautiful. They are large, and they are passed around to each and every one of our staff members who signs it. And then, of course, we celebrate with that staff member their contribution to our agency. And it's really an indication that these small acts of kindness really do translate into large things in our agency, and that is it's improved our morale significantly. Last week, I had an opportunity to see one of our frontline staff very carefully, very patiently escorting one of our clients into our setting. And as I approached this staff, because she was juggling a tremendous amount of things, she indicated that this client had just come off of cataract surgery. And this reminded me that those individuals that come into our setting come to us and stay with us for the majority of their adult life. And as you think about it, when we look at the services we provide quality services in residential, in supported employment, in employment opportunities. By providing meaning and purpose to these individuals, we have extended their life expectancy by as much as 10 to 15 years. And think about that. That's pretty profound as you look at the disability movement and what we've been able to accomplish. But we accomplish this with an amazing staff. They are dedicated to changing the world on their own terms. And I had the grand opportunity of working with a phenomenal senior management team who's innovative, committed, and willing to take risks to make sure that we continue on for the next 50 years at Columbus. So I want to point you to the programs on your table, and if you just open it up in the very middle, you'll see our Hub of Opportunity and our Next Work program. We are taking the initiative to really bridge the need for those young adults on the autism spectrum to provide them the ability to integrate more fully into our community. But we can't do this without you, our stakeholders. You make this possible for us. So thank you for dedicating your time, your energy, and your resources. And I really do want to thank our board of directors who have been incredibly supportive of our projects throughout the last 2 years. So enjoy today. You're going to hear some wonderful stories you already have from Lance. Our keynote speaker, Val Hale, is going to get you up to speed with what's happening in the economy. And you will have the opportunity to celebrate with us some really inspirational award winners. So at the end of this all, we do hope that you too can imagine a world that embraces all abilities by providing dignity in employment that provides meaning, purpose, and self-sufficiency. And what we like to say at Columbus is love is justice, justice is love, and that love, my friends, is always worth fighting for. So thank you so much.
Okay, next up, we're going to have our lovely and everyone's favorite bocce ball player, Stephanie Mackay, Chief Innovation Officer of Columbus. We all know how hard she works, so guys, please give her a well-deserved round of applause.
Thanks, Lance, but you know my game's basketball. I'm honored to introduce Val Hale as our keynote speaker today. In 2014, Governor Gary Herbert appointed Val as the executive director of the Utah Governor's Office of Economic Development. Before accepting the position at GoEd, Val served in a number of roles in Utah County, including 2 years as president of CEO of Utah Valley Chamber of Commerce, 7 years in various roles at Utah Valley University, and most notably, 22 years working for Brigham Young University's athletic department. He's made many cherished contributions to Utah throughout his noteworthy career, and he brings not only great leadership skills to our community, but he also puts his heart and his soul into what he does. It's been an honor for me to get to know Val over the past few years as Columbus has worked with GoEd to promote opportunities for individuals with disabilities so they can live and work in the community. And Val, I'm so glad that Governor Herbert gave you a hall pass to cross the county line and get out of Utah Valley occasionally and spend some time with us in Salt Lake County.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. It is good to make that trip every day. I guess I could say it's good. I take the train as often as I can to try to avoid the traffic. This morning I got up extra early. I've been in the Middle East with President Niederhauser, and I was a little bit negligent in my exercise, so I thought I'd get a run in this morning. And as I run, my running partner is the principal of Timberline Junior High in Alpine. And this morning his wife came out at the same time we did. She was going running with a friend. And I convinced her to run with me for a couple of blocks. She's a former All-American distance runner in college, and so she didn't want to run with a couple of fat old men. But she teaches the life skills special needs class at Orem High School. And an amazing teacher. In fact, KSL is doing a feature on her right now that will air shortly. And I just said, hey, I want to talk to you for just a minute about this program in Salt Lake. And I asked if she had heard of the Columbus Center, and she said, no, I haven't. Tell me about it. And so I explained briefly to her about what this wonderful organization does and is, and she was just flabbergasted. She said, that is so cool. We need something like that in Utah County. And then she said, you know, at Orem High School where I teach, she said, we have amazing students with disabilities who are involved in many things. 2 cheerleaders. The prom queen was a student with disabilities. We have a student with disability on the student council. And she said the days of these students being teased are pretty much over, and you know, they are actually revered at our school and very much respected and loved, and they have a great experience in high school. But she said that the problem is when they turn 22 and those opportunities end for them, she said a lot of them beg me to allow to stay in the program because she said there's really nothing there for them after that point. And she just said she feels really bad at that point to let them go, and some of them really don't have much going on in their lives after that, after having been involved in such a great program and great situation. And that's where this organization comes in to help these young people maintain the dignity in their lives. And I love that word that you have, dignity through work. I think that's what this is all about. These are wonderful people. They have so much to contribute in society. You know, in our economy today, our number one challenge, and you can ask any employer in this room, the number one challenge we have is workforce. Finding enough qualified workers. And I love what Columbus has done in finding ways to help some of these young people get opportunities to work and to help to be productive, to enjoy that dignity through work in their lives. It's a great opportunity, and it serves the employer and it serves the employee. And I would like to challenge more of you business owners who are here today to take a look around and figure out how you can employ some of these people in your businesses, how you can help them find dignity through work, and become very productive employees for you that will benefit both you and them. You know, I think we all have had people, we all know people in our family and otherwise who've had some of these challenges. 41 years ago, I was 19 years old, getting ready to go on my LDS mission. And one afternoon, I was getting ready to go over to my friend Kurt Bester's house to have a party. Yes, it was that Kurt Bester. He was a neighbor of ours and a friend of mine. And I walked out and had a bunch of nieces and nephews playing in the front yard. We had an irrigation ditch in front of our house. And I got distracted for a few minutes, went around behind the house, and I came out and I had noticed my 18-month-old nephew playing out there, and he was gone, as were all the other kids. And for some reason I thought, man, I need to go see if I can find him. And I started looking around, and the kid said, I don't know where he is. And so I started looking for him and couldn't find him. I went in and said, has anybody seen Jade? Do you know where Jade is? Nobody did. I got in my car. I drove around the block thinking that maybe he had wandered off, came back, and to make a long story short, he had fallen in the ditch in front of our house. He had been swept under a culvert, and a paper boy who was delivering the papers of, you know, they have those newspapers that are free, had just gotten lazy one day and dumped a bunch of them in the ditch. They'd been swept under the bridge, and my little nephew had been caught under the bridge in that debris. And one of my neighbors, as we kept searching, reached under with a rake and pulled out the debris, and my nephew came out with that. And he had been under there for probably a half hour. I remember doing CPR on him, and they came and rescued him, took him to the hospital, and it was touch and go whether he would live or not. He did live, but he suffered severe injuries to his brain, and he's now 42, almost 43 years old, but he has lived a challenging life. He is there mentally. He can't communicate. He can't control his muscles. But he's been a great blessing in our family. And we've seen many, many people try to help him and help his family through that situation. And, you know, I see what you folks have done to help in Columbus Center, to help people who have situations like that in their family. My sister, I mean, for basically most of her life now, she has cared for this boy, and he requires a lot of care. And, you know, the situation that you provide some of these parents to have a respite sometimes from the day-to-day care and the activities that you provide, such a great blessing. I've seen it firsthand in my life. I've seen how something like that could be such a great blessing to a family. Those of us who haven't had that experience in our own personal families sometimes don't appreciate what just an hour or two of freedom and an hour or two of not having that heavy responsibility can do. So we have a lot of respect for what you're doing. In GoEd, we're pleased to be able to utilize the services of the Columbus Center for some of our projects that we do. Our tourism office uses the program to help us with assemble some of our materials. There are just a lot of great opportunities. About, I think the figure I saw was that about 22% of America's workforce report having some kind of disability. And 1 out of 3 workers one out of 3 unemployed adults who are able to work report having some kind of a disability. So it is something that really it impacts us in our workforce. We need to be aware of it. We need to be accommodating as employees and employers, We have a lot of great companies in our state who are dedicated to helping employees with disabilities. The Utah Governor's Committee on Employment of People with Disabilities recently honored a few of those companies with the 2017 Golden Key Awards. Those awards honor individuals and companies who are committed to improving employment opportunities for all Utahns. 4 local businesses were honored. Those companies include UTA, Utah Transit Authority, Liquid Nutra Group, GE Healthcare, and Utah CNA Training. So, we want to thank those companies and others like them who are committed to doing their part to help people with disabilities and help them find dignity in their lives. You think about when you hire a person with a disability, you help the employee and you help the employer. It's a win-win opportunity. And again, I can't stress enough the dignity aspect of this, how important it is for these wonderful people to have an opportunity to contribute. There's nothing like feeling like you're making a difference and you're carrying your weight. You're doing something that is meaningful. And that alone is worth the contributions and the efforts that we make as a people to help the Columbus Center be successful. I want to appreciate Representative King and President Niederhauser and the legislature for their help with the Hub of Opportunity. Tremendous, really outstanding project. And that is now underway and is going to be just a tremendous asset to our community and to people with disabilities around the area. I also encourage all of you here to find a way to help this organization financially when you can, and if not financially, with your time. We all have time, talents, and treasure, and I hope that you'll find a way to use 1, 2, or all 3 of those things to help this organization. Truly great mission and purpose. And so thank you for having me this morning. We need more organizations like this that are making a difference in our community. They certainly deserve our support. And all I can say is God bless you, Columbus Center. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Val, for joining us today and sharing your own personal story and encouraging us and reminding us that it's the entire community, our families, employers, our companies, who really come together and make a difference for some of the most vulnerable among us. This is also the time that I wanted to reflect on the past, present, and future of Columbus. On June 6th of 2018, next year, Columbus will be celebrating its 50th anniversary when we opened our doors with 8 students, a group of volunteers, and a space in the old Columbus Elementary School on South Salt Lake, thus our name, which people often confuse. We're here today because they found each other and found the strength in knowing that they weren't alone in their struggles. A room this size, all of us coming together, reminds us how important this legacy is. I wanted to share with you how their fierce commitment has laid the groundwork for future generations. Through the lens of our 50th anniversary, it was serendipitous to see some of the intersections of early community partnerships in today's program unfold. In 1985, Kathy Chambliss, who we're honoring today, worked with Columbus to place the first individual in a community-based job through the State of Utah inaugural supported employment program. We have the honor of having Mike McElby here today, who was that first person employed, and he continues to work. He has a job at Einstein's and has been in the workplace now for 32 years and making his contributions to our community. At the same time, another of our award recipients, Salt Lake County, administered funding through the Salt Lake County Division of Job Training and Development, an early partnership that shaped Columbus's current employment programs. At the time, the program was directed by Mike Gallegos, who's still with the county, and he and his team continue to work with Columbus and other agencies like us to ensure that we are fully utilizing our resources for community development and taking care of some of the most vulnerable among us. In 1986, Columbus served 162 people in work programs, 25 who'd been employed for 12 years at that point, so not too long after we started. Today, thanks to Kathy's professional contributions and the county's early involvement, we're serving nearly 300 people a year in employment programs. Cindy Biddle, another one of our honorees and workplace heroes, exemplifies this success. After 30 years, she still loves coming to work and joining us at Columbus every day. And not a lot of us can say after 30 years that we really want to come to work every day. But with 1 in 11 adults unemployed due to a disability, we still have much work ahead of us. One of the most profound issues we're facing in the coming decades is the rising rate of autism spectrum disorder. In 2015, as Christy mentioned, through community-wide collaborations and generous donations, Columbus launched the innovative Next Work program to support young adults with autism so they, like their peers, can look forward to careers in independent living. This was our first new program in 32 years, a testament to the need to address autism as it disproportionately impacts families in our community. We began with the startling statistic that young adults with autism face an 80% unemployment rate, the highest of any demographic. With a record low unemployment rate of 3-something%, I was going to ask you, Val, what that was exactly, but around 3.4% in Utah, we had no insights into why these young adults were invisible to employers. No one was asking the question, why? In June of this year, the Sorensen Impact Center awarded Columbus a Pay for Success feasibility study grant to better understand how to engage employers to seek out and hire individuals with autism. The timing for this work is critical. If we don't take an innovative approach that encourages employers to invest in human capital now, then we deny thousands and thousands of young adults with autism and other disabilities the opportunity to join their peers in the workplace. Finally, I'm excited to announce, and Christy and Val have both mentioned this, that in the spring of 2018, we will celebrate our 50th anniversary celebration. Columbus will be breaking ground for the Hub of Opportunity, that's what Christy and Val mentioned, a transit-oriented mixed-use development that will include 156 residential units built from the ground up with accessibility and integration in mind. Located at 3900 Southwest Temple, adjacent to UTA's Meadowbrook Track Station, this $40 million project will give individuals with disabilities an opportunity to be fully integrated into the community, living side by side with neighbors that reflect the true demographics of our county, ranging from those with severe disabilities to families to young professionals. A hallmark of the project will be the Next Work Hub, which will allow us to extend our Next Work Autism program to provide a safe environment for young adults with autism so they can transition into the community and employment. The hub will be the first of the kind of its nation and a model that many will replicate. Of the $40 million, I'm happy to announce that we've secured 37, I can't even say a number that big, $37.5 million. And in the coming year, we'll be going to the community to raise the additional $2.5 million. Yes. I hope you'll all be at the grand opening in December 2019 when we open the doors. We're here today because a handful of parents started finding each other over 5 decades ago. They stood up to doctors who devalued the quality of their children's lives. They were good neighbors, even when their children were excluded from the simple joys of playing freely in the neighborhood. They stood up and they said no to injustice and intolerance, and they did this with love. I'm deeply grateful for the sacrifices that our founding parents made to change the world, and in our 50th year, they deserve to be celebrated. I'm deeply grateful that all of you in this room are here to carry this vision forward for future generations, for Jennifer and Mason and Jamie, and I know you will do so with the same fierce love and determination of our founding parents. Thank you so much for being here today and supporting our mission and vision.
Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Val. It was so good, I almost forgive you for all of your work for the other team. But Lance, why wouldn't you want to play basketball for the church's school? If God wanted me to go to BYU, he would name me all blue, not all red. Yeah. But well done nonetheless, Val. Well done. Next up, we have the Business Partner of the Year Award coming up. This is something I'm excited to share because this is actually the vision in action of companies and corporations partnering with Columbus to show that this does work and there's nothing to fear or tiptoe around, that everyone can contribute. Everyone can have a value to their company. And it's inspiring to see. These are people that actually say, you know what? Yeah, we'll be innovative. We'll think outside the box. We're going to find ways to actually be forward moving and not just become dinosaurs, to actually understand that the workforce is going to continually change. And they see the demographics, especially with Utah with autism and everything. And so I'm so excited to have this award come out. We're going to have, let's see, David. Oh, first off, we've got a video coming, don't we? Yes, let's do the video.
From the time that we started working with AmerisourceBergen, they've just been a phenomenal company. From the first call that I got 2 years ago, up till today, they've been working with us just great. When I first got that call, it was a really cool experience actually, because they said, you know what, we've been working with people with disabilities out in California, and it's worked for us, and we want to try it here. So I went in and talked with them, and Kathy was just a great advocate for people with disabilities. She knew that it was going to be a struggle, and that not every person would fit every job perfectly. And that was refreshing.
I feel that everybody should have the same chance and the same opportunities. I did have resistance when I first announced to the warehouse folks that we were going to have some associates in here with disabilities. They did give it a chance, started making friends with them and stuff. It's just built a really good positive workforce between them to see that we're all the same. There's no difference. To me, it's really important to get these guys some jobs, get them some skills so that they can go out into the world and make something for themselves. It's really good to see that they have a goal every day. Adam is adamant about getting 10 pallets of totes done every day. That's money in his pocket so he can buy the things that he needs, and it's a good feeling.
Columbus is basically where you start. You know, it's a place of beginnings. They encourage you to learn what you can and to do your absolute best to advance so that you can make it for yourself out in the real world.
I think that a long-term relationship with AmerisourceBergen will really help Columbus because they sought us out, and so they are really willing to work with adults with disabilities. They ask us for different jobs that could be done, and so they are wanting to employ other people as well.
AmerisourceBergen has the partnership thing down. They understand what it means to be a strategic partner, as well as to partner in missions and making sure that all of our needs are met, as well as all of our employees' needs are met. That's a phenomenal thing in a customer, and AmerisourceBergen is a model for every business in this community.
Awesome. Kathy Proctor, you're my hero. I mean it. I'm going to invite David Perry and Susan Johnson to please come up to the stage to hand off this award.
There you go. All right. Good morning. Lance, you're a tall guy. I'm the tallest member of my family, so 5'6 3/4", so I'm in awe of you.
I'll make you feel better.
Yeah, I tried out for my high school basketball team, but the coach told me to go for student council, which was a good experience. But your program says Lori Perry would be here today. That's my lovely wife. We're quite a team, but we drew straws and we decided would the brains or the eye candy come today, and the eye candy won. So you've got me. We have an 18-year-old son, Clark, who is a special needs student, and she is taking him to school today at Spectrum Academy, which is a charter school in North Salt Lake dedicated to students on the spectrum. It's a very unique part of the community here in Salt Lake. And we don't worry about school anymore. Now we worry about what Clark does when he turns 22, as Val noted, and enters the workforce. And so people like Kathy Proctor are heroes to Lance. I would call her an angel on earth, and I would call AmeriSource Bergen one of the enablers that it's going to make this a great community and a great environment for my son and many people like him. So I work at the University of Utah. We have a world-class psychiatry program and a number of other programs that serve this population. Dr. Bill McMahon is here and very involved here with Columbus. We team up with Columbus, but we need the business community. That hub needs enterprise at the base of that hub that's going to be built. And so you members of the business community, if you're thinking you want to do what AmeriSource Bergen has done, I encourage you to do so. I think it'll enrich your workplace in more ways than you can really imagine, and Columbus can help you do that. It's a great world-class organization that other cities are really in awe of. So with that said, I'll turn over the mic to Susan.
Well, it's my honor to invite Kathy Proctor and Mark Lane of AmeriSource Bergen to the stage, please.
Sure, or Mark can. Just like they said, don't be afraid. We're all the same. We all have the same needs. It just really does say your art to be able to make a difference in these people's lives. So thanks, Adam. You're awesome. Thanks, Lindsay. Good partners. Appreciate it. No.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, AmeriSource Bergen. You guys rock. Okay. I come from a family of weepers. We weep. It's okay to cry with me, guys. We'll get through this. Next, we're going to do the visionary leadership. This is an award recognized as lifetime contributions. I'm going to tell a little story. When I was born, I was the youngest of my father's 5 kids, and he broke his leg twice in the same spot doing construction in 1 year. So when I was 1 year old, he went and enrolled his family in welfare in this tiny town of Hamilton, Montana, and went back to school and graduated first in his class at the University of Montana. And he did this with all my siblings, but when he saw that I started to love basketball at the age of 14, he gave me a lot of advice, but one of them was, Lance, I'm going to tell you the 10% rule. The thing that separates the B students from the A students, or the B athletes from the A athletes, isn't necessarily 10% more of your time or your money, but 10% more of your heart. That's all. And it reminded me of my 6th grade teacher. I struggled with all my elementary teachers because you know how that people that talk like us on the back of the mouth? I sounded like that when I was a kid because you feel that reverberation in your skull. And it wasn't until I was 16 that I got the digital hearing aids. I started to hear the foreground and the background, and I'm like, oh, the part is in the front of the mouth, not the back of the mouth. But I wasn't considered special needs, nor was I fully, I was kind of somewhere in the middle. And so I was a great frustration for a lot of my elementary teachers. Huge frustration, and I'm stubborn as hell. And this 6th grade teacher of mine named Mrs. Aston, she was frustrated with me too, but then she had an epiphany. And this is well before Malcolm Gladwell's David and Goliath, where it talks about people with learning disabilities actually have a high likelihood of becoming very successful entrepreneurs because they think outside the box. She sat me down when all the kids went out to recess. She asked me, Lance, can you stay for 1 minute? And I sat down and she said, Lance, I have been thinking about it and I understand that with your hearing loss, your brain has had to learn to function in a different way. And you're just trying to understand. And I know people get impatient with you, and I've been impatient with you. And even beyond this point, probably for the rest of your life, people are going to call you stubborn, arrogant, incorrigible, many things. They're going to label you. And promise me, you will never change. She gave a lot more than 10%. Maybe in that moment, it just took her 10% of her heart just to give me that extra minute. But that's what her legacy was as a teacher. That's a lifetime achievement. And so this award is honoring people like that. And so, we have another video, don't we? Gosh. Do we? Visionary Leadership Award.
I had worked with Columbus for many years in working with individuals in getting jobs. Columbus was willing to develop one of the first supported employment programs in the state, and when Mike Magleby was placed, it was a demonstration that this approach could really be effective. And in fact, Mike is still working today. My job was to train the providers and to make sure that they had the belief system, that they valued that individuals could be competitive in the workforce, individuals with severe disabilities.
Kathy is our senior research associate here, and she is our key person, our go-to person to talk about disabilities. We work a lot on public policies that cross a whole range of issues, but on disabilities we really have a lot to offer, and it's because of Kathy's 45 years of experience. She brings all this work experience, advocacy experience, and then her research to the Institute, and adds so much to what we're able to do and what we're able to offer.
Kathy's greatest contribution may be her ability to conceptualize and communicate disabilities from a whole perspective, from a systems perspective. It's the disability, it's the social context, it's the person's connections, it's the economic, it's the public policy, it's the funding. Those are the things that come together that, to me, she has made a great contribution on, including to my understanding of disabilities.
She has influenced so many people's lives. I think she brings a passion to the work she does. She influences lives on a very personal level, which is so important. And then more importantly, I think, is she looks systematically. What could be changed to make lives for people who have disabilities better?
We had a son with severe mental emotional disabilities. And to say that he was a handful or a challenge for family and service providers would be a huge understatement. Kathy probably doesn't know how many words of wisdom, how much support she provided to us simply as colleagues. She changed our way of seeing things and working with him. She would probably look and say, no, I didn't, but she did. And we'll be forever thankful to her for that.
So I do this work because it changes people's lives, because they're able to be part of the community. They're able to be contributors. And it's so rewarding. My dream is that we will be able to continue the momentum of making a more just and inclusive society, which is what my hope is, and I see it happening.
To come up and introduce and pass off the award to Kathy, we're going to have Dr. William McMahon from the Columbus Board and also Terry Grant from Key Bank to come up to the stage.
So Kathy's credentials are listed in the program, but because they depended on Kathy's self-reporting that's terribly biased by her humility, they really underrepresent all that she's done. She has changed so many students' lives through the Disability Studies program. She's worked in the Governor's Disability Committee. She's worked in Voc Rehab. And the program doesn't even list the 2 master's degrees she's got. She is self-effacing, but translates between big picture, visionary kind of work with really understanding the details of regulations, of dollars, of numbers, and it's just been a pleasure to get to know her over the past 4 years when we've been working together.
Let me just say that Key Bank is so proud and honored to support this award that really honors somebody who truly, truly makes a difference in our community. So with that, should we bring Kathy up?
Thank you so very much for this honor. 2 experiences have shaped me as I grew up. First, several members of my family had disabilities. My grandmother used a wheelchair for about half of her adult life. My sister had epilepsy. It gave me perspective on struggle and resilience. Secondly, I was raised in a Catholic family, and I was sent to Catholic schools, and it gave me the perspective of living with disability. No, it gave me the perspective of social justice. Social justice was a very strong value to respect and care for those who did not have the same advantages as me. Also, the nuns taught me that it was a sin to brag or boast about your own accomplishments. So I learned modesty. I am humbled by this recognition, and I am so thankful to Columbus because really what I've just done is things that are so rewarding to me. It is incredibly rewarding to think about Mike Magleby, who is still working in a career after 32 years from a program that I started. So that's why I continue to do this type of work. Thank you, Columbus.
Thank you, Kathy. Next, we got the Social Enterprise Award. This is recognizing Salt Lake County, and I played basketball for 10 years around the world, and I'll be honest, I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to ever go back to Salt Lake City, because I've seen the world. I'm not sure I want to go back to tiny bubble Salt Lake City. But Mayor Ben McAdams and company, I'm actually been very proud to come back to Salt Lake City, seeing how you have forced it, sometimes kicking and screaming, to grow up, to have empathy and compassion, and to see that if God wanted us all to be the same, he would have made us the same. And so your work with Columbus is phenomenal and amazing. And this social enterprise, I kind of want to touch on what Val mentioned when he told the story about his jogging partner. They said, I've never heard of that. And I'm kind of embarrassed too, even with my hearing loss and other challenges. Until I came back to Salt Lake City after being around the world, I had never heard of Columbus. And I'm actually kind of embarrassed about that. So if you could all do me a little favor, less gossiping about the Kardashians and more gossiping about Columbus would be great. Because honestly, what Val's story is very true. I've never heard of that. You have special education teachers around the state saying, I've never heard of that. That's actually kind of bad. We could do better. So this is why I'm excited about this award for social enterprise, because the fact that Mayor Ben McAdams and company have been working very hard to actually push this to the forefront. And that hub, guys, you're kidding me? What they're building? That's a spaceship. There's nothing like that in the world. Trust me, I've been on every continent. Haven't been on Antarctica, I'll get there, but there's no spaceship in Antarctica, I know that too. This is phenomenal, this is incredible, and it's something to actually be proud of and to let people know about. And so we have a video, don't we? Another video of Salt Lake County? Here we go.
Salt Lake County has really been phenomenal for Columbus over the course of the many years. Recently, I will say that what has impressed me most about the county is their ability to connect those dots and know who Columbus is and how we fit into the solutions here in the community. And in general, I just think that they have been a tremendous support on every single level, and we hope to continue to be that go-to service provider in providing those solutions going forward.
Through our Community Development Block Grant funding, we have been able to partner with Columbus Foundation, and since 2007 we've allocated over $300,000 for projects for people with disabilities. And what these projects do is they help these individuals have a healthy place to live, have a safe place to live, so that they are then able to enjoy their life as well.
Salt Lake County has tried to take a collective impact approach to problem solving. Rather than having a lot of different people and programs who serve distinct needs but don't add up to making a lot of difference in the lives of an individual, we like to take the approach where we bring all of the providers and the services together and focus on the whole individual and helping that individual to succeed and to achieve the outcomes that we want to see. The Columbus Center has been stellar in implementing this collective impact model that's more than just doing good in a moment, but it's helping an individual to rise above the challenges that they see. Salt Lake County's first partnership with the Columbus Center, back when they were still at Columbus Elementary, was to start an auto detailing program, a training program where we could help people gain job skills and gain employment. Today we're working with the Columbus Center. They provide document shredding for many of the Salt Lake County secure documents. Salt Lake County is collaborating with the Columbus Center to do the Hub of Opportunity. This would be one of the first in the nation facilities built to help people with disabilities to receive the wraparound services they need to succeed, to live more independently, to provide for themselves, and to have a greater degree of independence. Utah has the third highest rate of autism in the nation. We've spent a lot of time talking about what we're going to do to support children with autism, but not a lot of attention has been paid to what happens when they're adults and when they graduate from the public school system. The Columbus Center, with their Next Work autism program, is helping adults with autism to rise up, to have the dignity of providing for themselves, to stand on their own 2 feet, and to live with the greatest degree of independence possible.
At Salt Lake County, we must look at the needs of future generations, and those needs have changed over the last 50 years. Young adults with disabilities want to join their peers in the workforce, and Salt Lake County continues to work with agencies, luckily like Columbus, who share that goal.
Salt Lake County's partnership with the Columbus Center certainly is something I support, but the credit has to go to people, the staff who support the Columbus Center, the people in Salt Lake County's Department of Transportation, Housing, and Economic Development who care passionately about this and have worked for almost 40 years with support for the Columbus Center. Incredible investment over the last 10 years, long before I was mayor, and I know that Salt Lake County's commitment to the Columbus Center will be here long after I'm gone.
So quickly before I have Stephanie and Christy come up, can you imagine, I said this at the groundbreaking, but can you imagine the look on some of their faces for these people when they actually get to walk into the hub and say, this is my home. I don't have to live in my mom's basement. Actually, Mom, I got this. I can be independent. There's a lot of gratitude with that, and you're all a part of that, and that's something to actually pat yourselves on the back for. And so Stephanie and Christy, please come up and hand off this well-deserved award.
Very good. Welcome, Mayor McAdams, and thank you for representing the county. It's just an honor and privilege to have you here. And we, as Columbus, in our partnership with the county, are a better agency because of it.
Well, thank you. I'm going to take a moment if I can. I want to first of all say thank you for this honor. And I'm only as good as the people who work at Salt Lake County who do such incredible work. So I want to say thank you, first of all, to the many great people from Salt Lake County who are here today. Every one of them supports the Columbus Center in a unique way, and we are committed to your mission, and we appreciate all all the good you do for people that we serve. But I want to take this opportunity to also give some well-deserved credit to Columbus, if I may. So in September of this year, Salt Lake County was awarded the 2017 Award of Excellence in the category of Economic Development by NACED. It's the National Association for County, Community, and Economic Development. And this award recognized the Columbus Secure Shredding Facility that you all saw here on the video, the upgrade that we did for creating jobs for individuals with the Developmental Disabilities Project. We were honored to receive this award in September, and we felt strongly that Columbus should share in the recognition. I often joke that as mayor, I get blamed for a lot of things I had nothing to do with, and I get credit for a lot of things I had nothing to do with, and the truth somewhere in between. But this is something we were honored to receive this award, and we also want to pass this award on to Columbus. So I have the award with me today, so we can exchange awards. But I want to, so Karen, come up here too. So I'm just going to tell you real quickly about the secure shredding facility. Has been around for quite a while, but what we did is we were worried about some of the air quality in this facility, some of the particle and that. So we were able to install a air filtration system that improves the health and safety for individuals in that area. We knew that was paramount for the employees. And so Columbus is now able to retrofit that space to accommodate other business lines also, such as assembly and packaging work that will provide for more vocational training and employment opportunities. So thank you again.
Oh, thank
okay.
you. You all paid for it.
Okay. We now have our Outstanding Worker Award to hand out, but Mike Magleby, I heard you're in the crowd. Where are you, Mike? We saw a video of you. Let's give this guy a well-deserved round of applause. So, Mike, how many years have you been working there?
10 years.
10 years. All right. Thank you so much for all the work you do and everything. All right? Okay. Well done. Thank you. Okay. Christy, are you coming back up? Gosh, you gotta, yeah, okay. Yep, you got too comfortable. Jeff Miller from Mark Miller Subaru to the stage. Please come on up. All right, I'm gonna.
Thank you, Lance. At Mark Miller Subaru, we're really proud to be a part of the Columbus Center. We have what's called the Subaru Love Promise, and it's really about giving back to the community and being a big part of the community more than just being a business in the community. I really want to just encourage all the business leaders in the crowd and all the people here to really look at that in your companies and look at how much you are giving back to the people around you and everybody that gives so much to you as a company. With the Columbus Center, we've been very lucky to be associated with you and being right in our neck of the woods too, in South Salt Lake, and really want to encourage everyone to give as much as you can and support them as much as you can in what they're doing, especially with the new hub that's going up right down the street from us on 39th South. So it truly is amazing, and I'm very honored to be here to honor these three amazing community heroes. So thank you.
Thank you. Good. And we're going to go right into our individual awards. And I am really honored and privileged to be a friend of our award recipient, Cindy Biddle. And she and I have something in common. We love the Utes and we love the jazz. And when I see Cindy, if I don't know the scores, she certainly does. So with that, let's introduce you to Cindy.
Cindy Biddle was one of the first students I worked with, was very reliable, doing the job. Her attendance was great, her quality was great, her follow-up was great, and she made my job a lot easier. She was somebody that I felt like helped me learn what I wanted to do.
Cindy is a beautiful soul, and I got to know Cindy pretty much in the first couple of months that I started here at Columbus, and she really was the window in understanding what the mission of Columbus is. She comes in, she makes pictures for people, she embraced me in a way that really captured my heart in so many ways.
Besides learning the technical skills of being on a job, being consistent, paying attention to detail, Cindy has had to learn how to get along with other people, socialize with other people. When I started working with her, I would say that she was more of a quiet, bashful, shy person. Now she easily makes friends. I've seen her make friends with other clients, with other staff. She initiates conversations with people. Her soft skills have really increased over the last 32 years that I've been with her.
For, I think, the people who work here, it's important to find that individual that really connects you with the mission on so many levels, and that's who Cindy is to me. I had an opportunity to meet her parents, and I have to say they're true heroes. They have navigated the social service sector for Cindy's entire life and continue to do so and continue to do it successfully. And there is a lot of admiration to be had for those parents who really do this and do it well and have created a beautiful home for her.
Columbus has helped her a great deal in that, and then it's given her a purpose. It's given her a purpose in life as far as she's concerned. I'm proud of everything with her. She's learned to function on her own. She's learned to do so many things that we never ever thought she would be able to do.
Our next award recipient is Belinda Murray, and Belinda has a terrific sense of humor and uses her jokes and teases to endear her to her customers. She enjoys her jobs and brings sunshine and light to the workplace. So let's meet Belinda.
I love every day when Belinda comes in. She's always great for a high five, a big smile, bones. She just brings excitement every time she comes to work. She's just an amazing, amazing person.
You know, she's a self-starter, she's a very quick learner, and she really fits into the work environment very naturally and very well. She enriches the work environment and really is able to help it be more positive.
Her personality radiates, and so it rubs off on people. You know, if you're having a bad day, Belinda can turn it around.
Belinda is our community. There are people with different abilities, and it's just very important for them to be integrated as much as possible, to be out in the community working and contributing and feeling that they too are a part of the community.
I like Harmless because quite a few friends. I like Spencer. I help him bag up food and he'll say thank you. I like Colby. He's a friendly guy. He's funny. I enjoy the environment. Learn something new every day.
The Harmons family is an amazing family. I've had the pleasure of working with Bob and Doreen Harmon, and they are such an important part of the community because they embrace people with disabilities by employing them in their 19 stores, and they also embrace people with disabilities by giving to nonprofits who support those individuals.
These people have a lot to offer. A lot to offer. Belinda, her personality, always has a joke. Her laugh is contagious. They take pride. They're happy to be here. They're very happy to be here.
Rachel. Hi, Rachel. I know you're out there. See, I got a good sense of humor, don't I?
You sure do. You sure do.
Let's see. I'm glad I'm stuck with Harmons for 3 years.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good. All righty. Thank you, Belinda. Can we get a picture? Can we get a picture of you? Thanks, Belinda. Oh, my goodness. Alrighty, and now for Dylan Donahoe. Dylan is a hard worker who loves comedy and is devoted. He's a devoted grandson who meets his grandmother every week for dinner. His favorite book is Catcher in the Rye, and his favorite movie is The Big Lebowski. So, meet Dylan.
Dylan was one of the first participants in Columbus's Neuroversity program, which taught people on the spectrum, autism spectrum, skills that they would need to work in a group setting. He was wonderful in that program. And then there was this continuum of services where the supported employment team at Columbus was asked to help Dylan with employment opportunities after he finished that program.
Dylan's one of 3 Columbus employees here at Boeing, and he actually, I kind of refer to him as our peer mentor, right? He's our long-term Columbus employee that's been here. I look at him as our resident expert. Dylan's just one of those guys that, you know, you can go to him and say, hey, Dylan, what do you think about this? And he's like, sure.
He's not afraid to try anything. He's always willing to try new tasks, new jobs, and because of that reason, we are not afraid to progress farther into different jobs.
He's also surprising, and that's what I love about Dylan. He has a sharp sense of humor, he's very funny, and he's an avid reader. I always run into Dylan at every used book sale at the Salt Lake City Library downtown, and it makes me smile.
He's kind of shy, he's kind of quiet, but he's also very interactive with the people and he cares about what he does. And through his responsibilities here, the people, they actually see how much he cares. He's exhibited that several times in many different ways.
Well, I think one thing I'm proud of is that I can say that I work for Boeing. I would actually like to retire with this company.
Oh, I'm really proud of him. He's changed and opened up and made friends, and he has become more outgoing in every part of his life because of how proud he is of himself and his achievements. You can see that, it's not just me telling him that he's doing great, it's other people telling him that too, and it's just really made a difference in him.
Sure. Hi. So, thank you for this award, and also thank you for framing it, so that way I don't have to go out and buy one. I do have a few people to thank, though. For starters, I'd like to thank my boss, Leslie Perkins, and my predecessor, Michael Archuleta. I'd like to thank David Hanna for giving me a chance with Boeing. And also all the people who came out to support me. I know later on today I'm going to be at work or I'm going to be on my way home going, oh, I should have thanked this person or that person, but for now, thank you for everybody who came out for me.
Want to come down? Come on up. I'm going to turn it back over to Lance.
Dylan, you're the dude, man. The dude. Honestly, that's one of my top 5 favorite movies. So, man crushing over there on that guy. Proud of all 3 of you. Thank you. Before I give my closing remarks, we have one more thing to come up, and that's Safia Keller, Chief Employment Development Officer. Safia, she makes me feel like $1 million every time I see her. She came up to me this morning, she asked me, Lance, she did really ask me how tall I was. But she said, oh, you don't even look it because you're so graceful. I'm like, oh, wow. No one's ever called me graceful, so thank you, Safia. It's made my day entirely. But come on up, Safia.
Thanks, Lance. What a great morning we've had honoring these incredible individuals, Dylan and Belinda and Cindy, and our great businesses in our community. Right now, I'd like to invite our past board chair, Allison Smoot, to come up just for a moment. So, Allison.
Stephanie, this isn't on the script. She's giving me dirty looks. We're up here to honor Stephanie Mackay. She started this Dignity Through Work breakfast 12 years ago. This is the 12th year. 17 years at Columbus? 15? Well, we feel like it. We're getting older. And she has a career with passion. I don't know if all of us in this room can say We love what we do every day. Now, granted, she's had moments where it's been tough, but all in all, we all have those moments. Stephanie's a dear friend. She's been in my life for 25 years and got me on the board. Kept asking to come on the board, and about 8 years ago, I said, okay. And I have enjoyed this stay and this ride with her, learning what's, I can't even look at you. I'm coming over here. Everyone in this room knows what we're doing today, changing people's lives. Stephanie does it every day along with the staff and everybody at Columbus. I work with them and I've seen what they do, and it's impressive because they never let up. It's this ongoing push to continue the cause along the way. And I'm telling you, when we stand before the hub and look at that building in a couple of years and it's done, everyone in this room is going to remember this moment saying, we're making a difference. Everyone's making a difference in people's lives. Stephanie and Christy and Safia and Angeline, everyone can say they do that every day. I can't say that, but I wish I could. Stephanie does it every day, and for 15 years has. And 12 years of starting this, I just have to tell this one story because if I didn't, she'd say you missed the opportunity. So when I came on the board, they were doing Dignity Through Work breakfast, and they weren't asking for money. And I said, you've got a room full of people that you should at least kind of toss it out that they might want to give a little bit for whatever cause of Columbus. I mean, they're here, they're expecting it. So we've been doing that ever since. This isn't an ask for money, but you'll see envelopes, you'll notice things. That was my doing. You can kick me later, but you're here. How could you not want to give to a cause like this and help someone find a career that they love as well? Stephanie's done that all along. I love you dearly. You're a dear friend, and you're one of the best in the business of fundraising and what you do. And thank heavens you do this, because we can all go back to work now feeling like we've done something positive for the day. Come on up.
There, you give it to her. This is all you. Yeah.
I just want to say I do my job for our workplace heroes, and I do it because I get to make so many incredible friends in the community. The only time I really don't like my job is when I have to get up at 5 to be here on time for the breakfast, but I wasn't on time. So anyway, I just want to thank you for recognizing my work and pulling this event together, because it is the thank you to our community. And when I walk away from here, I feel the love, and I hope you feel the love from the rest of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I want to tell you about a unique fund that we have created at Columbus, and it's called the Dignity Fund. And it's a financial assistance program for our clients and their families who often do not have the means or the funding in place yet to pay for our services. It was created in 2008. Thank you, Allison. And to date, we have raised just over $600,000 and awarded financial assistance to 75 individuals who otherwise would not have been able to receive our services. I wanted just to share 2 quick stories about individuals who have benefited from the Dignity Fund. The first of which is Dylan Donahoe, who you have just met and heard about. And he was a recipient, as he had not yet received funding yet, and was really eager to get working right away. So he worked with Debbie Downs, and one of our employment specialists was able to find employment, and as you heard, he has found a job at Boeing, and he sees himself retiring from there, which is a really wonderful thing, and that was all made possible through the Dignity Fund. The second story is about a gentleman named Irvin who came to work, use our services a few months ago. He's 62 years old, and he worked with one of our chief employment officer, Warren, and they found him a job at Malto Meal. working in the warehouse, packaging the point of sale displays. And he needed some new t-shirts and a new pair of shoes. So he and Warren went to Shopko, and Irvin was very cognizant to only get what he needed. Warren pointed out a pair of khaki pants and jeans and said, "Hey man, how about these?" And he said, No, I'm good. I don't need those. I don't want to take advantage. I don't want to, get more than what I need. So he bought 3 t-shirts, 1 pair of shoes, came to just over $40. And our ability to help Irvin make this purchase and his gratitude was worth so much more, obviously, than just the cost of what he bought. So those are just 2 of the many, many stories that have resulted from our being able to help clients with the Dignity Fund. You can see on your table there are the donation cards, envelopes, pens. There will be staff walking around if you would like to give your completed card to them, or you may take it home and mail it back in the envelope, or if you'd like to use a credit card, we'll have someone out. There's lovely Cassie. She can run your credit card right away. So thank you in advance for your generosity and for enabling us to serve even more individuals with disabilities in our community. In closing, I just kind of want to reiterate what Lance has said and what Val has said. Having a job for an individual with a disability is not just about earning a paycheck. I do this every year. But it's the dignity and the pride that are associated with being part of something bigger than themselves, and the sense that they can contribute as well in a meaningful way by being employed in the community. I really want to thank the companies in the room who employ individuals with disabilities and for giving them the chance. It is often the first time that someone other than a parent or a teacher has said, "I believe in you, and I would like to give you a chance." And that is a huge milestone for some of these young people to hear. So thank you very much. I'm now going to pass it back to Lance.
Thank you, Safia. She's awesome. So as I close, the average age of an NBA rookie is 20. I was 27. I had a lot of people help me along the way. A lot. And I tell people frequently the essence of leadership is perseverance, and the essence of perseverance is grit, and the essence of grit is choice. People like to try to make this word grit some abstract, nebulous concept. How do you quantify it? It's choice. Do you choose to get back up every single time you get knocked down? And for people here at Columbus Community Center, a lot of them, sometimes the only choice they had was to just simply get up and choose to live. But through Dignity, and what Columbus is doing, we're giving them a lot more choices. And you can't have grit without choice. So thank you all for helping these people have choices so they can exemplify and live out that grit that we all so admire and find the inspiration from. Thank you so much. You're all excused. Have a great day.